Welcome back. Today we're going to quickly talk about the fourth trumpet. Fourth trumpet full moon began on October 28th. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. And we're going to take you in a stellarium. I'll show you a few things. Going to look at some dates and make some connections. Could be nothing. Could be big. I don't know. Only God knows. So we'll go look in stellarium. We'll come back and we'll have a chat about it. So here we are. We're in stellarium. We're using location Jerusalem, and we are on November 7th, 2023. And we're looking into the heavens toward the sun. And the sun is entering into the scales here, right here. And we are going to bring the moon in. So we're going to go day by day till the moon comes in. There comes the moon now. Now, I'm just going to zoom in so we can click on the moon. And we'll center on the moon. And the moon's at zero phase. Well, this is the beginning of the new moon. So we'll go forward. And that's really not what I wanted to show you, was the new moon. But it is interesting the new moon was in the sign of the scales. But I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in into the scales or the altar. And I want to click on Mars. Come on. There it is. And then I'm going to center on it. Now I'm going to zoom way in until the sun spots are visible on the sun. Then we know we're close. Okay, so this isn't your normal perspective, because if you actually zoom out, they actually look like they're all one now from the ground, like boots on the ground, observation in the sky. The sun's so bright you can't see Mars anymore anyway. And with a high-power telescope, you'd need filters here with it, because it'd be too bright to look towards the sun unless you had filters on it. So we have Mars here. We're going to go forward in time until, okay, so we're on the 16th at 8 o'clock at night here. We're going to go forward and zoom in a little bit more. And just right around midnight here on the 17th begins the occultation of Mars. The sun is going to eclipse Mars, eclipse it totally. And it's eclipsed right now, but fully. And we'll carry on to see when Mars pops out the other side. This is the 18th now, 5 in the morning. And right around, I think it's 1 or 2. There it is. Mars starts peeking out here. It's 3 in the afternoon on the 18th. And by just right about midnight on the 18th, there's some space there until the 19th. So we're going to back it up again until we are into the 17th, which the evening of the 17th is about halfway. So now we're going to zoom out. Zoom out here, and I want to go have a look in at the rider of the horse here. I'm in here, and it's going to follow the path of the moon, because there's a connection here. Okay, we're looking at the fourth trumpet, and we were looking at the fourth trumpet area of time because the fourth trumpet began October 28th. Okay, so the rider on a horse had the fourth seal, so that's the connection, and we're going to follow the moon path from the 17th. So just keep watching the moon, and it goes down that pathway, kind of like just outside the line of the rider on a horse here, this line here, until it exits it. Now let's go back 2 years. 2 years, and go ahead forward in 1 month. Oops, too far. Okay, now we're back up a day. So we have Leonard here. I'm going to click on Leonard and see the dot. And we go forward, it's going to go down that line of the ride on a horse's leg too, just what the moon just did. At the same time that's going on, it's going to copy, the moon's copying where the path of Leonard went. We'll go back to our present time right now. And we'll get that. We'll zoom in again because Mars is being eclipsed, conjuncted with the sun. Let's click on the sun. And we'll go forward until it pops out the other side again. And that completes that. Now, if we zoom out, it appears that Mars is kind of go to the picture for about 2 weeks. And if we go back to the 6th of November, that's my brother's birthday. Shout out to my brother, Kevin. Happy birthday, bro. So, yeah, Mars here is just about to be eclipsed by the sun. Conjunction here, and go forward until Mars comes out the other side. See the name there. And there it is. So, not until the 30th. This is also very interesting, too, because we know that the 5th trumpet begins, which is also the first woe. 5th trumpet, first woe, and it has to do with the beast, right? Which is interesting because we have right here what represents, in my book, the enemy, the dragon, in the constellation of the scorpion, which is also bad, and it almost looks like it's being, birthed from the sun here. And does this happen on the 27th? Very close to it. Very close to it. So this is also very interesting too. Okay, so I'm going to get out of Stellarium now, and I'm going to look at some dates here and then we're going to talk about that.
So some pretty interesting stuff in the Stellarium there. The sun covering Mars, occulting it, eclipsing it, conjuncting it, whatever word you like best. Just that's what you can call it. But nevertheless, you can't see Mars. It's behind the sun. And at that same time, the moon is coming through the exact area where the comet Leonard went through. I thought that was a very interesting connection because that was the 4th seal, and we're looking at the window here of the time frame of the 4th trumpet, because the 5th trumpet full moon doesn't come until November 27th. Okay, I'm going to read right now the about the 4th trumpet. It's in Revelation chapter 8, verse 12. It says, "And the 4th angel sounded, and a third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars, so as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise." And I read chapter 13 too, because we're getting closer to this part as well. "And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the 3 angels which are yet to sound." Now, those are coming. That would be the 3 woes are the 5th trumpet, 6th trumpet, and 7th trumpet. But before the 7th trumpet happens, the 7 thunders have to happen first. How do I know? Because the Bible says so, right? And then after that comes the 7th trumpet. So we just keep following along with what the Bible says. We're looking in the stars, looking for indicators and clues. And now I want to show you the dates here. So yeah, the date, I can't remember what side it's going to be on. It's going to be on one of them. But it's actually from October 28th until that 17th, where Mars is being occulted. it is exactly 21 days, which is really amazing because first trumpet happened on day zero, right? Day zero, when the full moon showed up, the trees were burning. Now, the second trumpet, August 1st, second trumpet full moon, 7 days later, Maui, something like a burning mountain on fire cast into the sea, right? That was 7 days later, Maui happened, okay? And then at the halfway point of the third trumpet, it would the new moon created the eclipse. There fell like a great star, right? And the shadow fell upon North America, Central America, South America, fulfilling, in my opinion, fulfilling the third trumpet. Now, this fourth trumpet, there's a pattern, right? Day zero, and second trumpet, 7 days. Third trumpet, halfway point, and this fourth trumpet, 21-day marker. That's what I was thinking before. And I didn't make this connection until tonight. And when I seen it, I'm like, man, I gotta make this quick video. Share what I've seen because I knew Mars was coming up to be occulted. But I didn't know the details of it. I knew it was soon, but there's so much going on. I get distracted too. So when I had a peek at it today and I seen it, I'm like, all day of the 17th, ran the dates, 21 days exactly from the last full moon, and I'm thinking, wow, three sevens, 777. Sorry for the jiggling. My hands hit the desk, everything jiggles because the camera's there. So yeah, 777, and I thought that is really uncanny, perfect timing. And then when when I was zoomed in, I said, well, I'm gonna look at where to see the moon is, and then I looked at the moon, and the moon's going right through where Comet Leonard went through back 2021, December 18th time period. The comet was going through there. And I thought, wow, moon's going through there. So there's enough indicators and pointers here saying this looks like something could potentially happen. Some people think that this will take place and it could be a spiritual thing. That could be a layer of it, a spiritual thing. 1/3 of people, um, you know, I hope not, but I don't know. Anyway, the only thing that I see happening recently is there was a lull in earthquakes, and the earthquakes kind of like kicked back up again. There was some heavy volcanic activity. There was 8 new ones within a week's period of time, and they were spewing up enough ash to have ash advisories. They use the ash advisories for flights, air flights, because jets can't go through the ash. My brother-in-law is a pilot, and he actually said that if a jet goes through too much ash, the engines will fail. They will just quit. They'll go out. Um, they usually will come back on when you leave the area of the ash. So they usually kick back on. But there has been some in the past that have actually failed when that does happen. So it's very important. And I know I'm going to probably say this wrong, Klyuchevskaya volcano um, in the Russian area. When it blew up, the ash cloud started drifting towards Canada, USA, and that's a very very common flight path for flying over to Europe. So there was delays in flights. If I don't know if anybody was affected by that, but there was delays in flights because of ash. The ash is spewing. I do know that there's some places like Mount St. Helens is the highest uptick they've had in 15 to 18 years. Yellowstone, there's been some activity in and around there too. I don't know. It sure looks like something could happen in that way, but only God knows. I just wanted to bring this video out. Something to think about, something to ponder, and who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But I just wanted to put it out here, and then once again, I'll thank you guys for letting me share this stuff with you. All right. I love you very much. God bless you. And until the next video.